it's not important only to understand a quality stocks, but it will be important in the next week even to calculate and to evaluate how a stock is worth. So we need to find and to understand what is the fair value, okay? Knowing what a company is worth. First of all, what is the fair value? The fair value of a company we call even intrinsic value, okay? For taking a Warren Buffett quote, is the intrinsic value. It's the value of the company according to the business, to the balance sheet, in general to the fundamental data, and in relation to the prospects, okay, of the company, of the markets, of the business. That's the important thing to understand. So today we have a stock price, okay, but this stock price usually is different from the fair value. And we want to search and to find, usually as investors, we want to find undervalued stocks. That's the main thing that we want to find. Not only quality stock, but even undervalued stock. What it means, an undervalued stock. What is an undervalued stock? Is a stock in which his own fair value is bigger than the actual stock price, okay? That's the main things that we want to highlight today. We can calculate the fair value using different mathematical methods. The most famous are the discounting cash flow method, the multiples method, the dividend discount model. It depends from the kind of the stocks, okay? We will see it into the next webinar. But another very important things, because we will use Investing Pro during the next weeks for analyzing stocks and for investing into a stock, okay? So in which section I can find this? If I go, for example, let's search another stocks, okay? Let's imagine Tesla, okay? I want to analyze Tesla. I check here. Do you see my screen always? Please answer me into the chat if you see my screen always, because I'm showing a particular thing. So tell me if you see the screen. Here we have a screenshot in which we have on the left part, it's very simple to understand. I don't know if someone just has the pro version. Here we have in the left part, we have the stock price, okay? The actual stock price. So now Tesla is worth per stocks, okay, per share, $185, okay? But in this case, we have, okay, perfect, thanks, Zabra. But in this case, we understand that using 12 different mathematical methods, so we don't need to spend time for calculating which is the fair value of Tesla. We don't need to do this because we have all ready here. It's all prepared. We don't need to do nothing. We only need to understand where to find this number, okay? And in this case, we see this, the fair value. So in this case, we see that based on 12 different mathematical models, we see that for each stocks, Tesla is worth more or less $212, okay? Now the stock price is 185. So we know that with a certain degree of certainty, okay, that maybe, because then we have to make the quality analysis, okay? We will do both, but now let's imagine that Tesla has passed the quality analysis, okay? So Tesla is a good quality stocks. Now we have to understand if it's even undervalued, okay? And here, for example, we see, yeah, we can say yes, okay? We have in this case, we have 80, more or less 80% of discount from the fair value or intrinsic value. It's enough, it's good, it's bad, it depends from your evaluation. Because for me, for example, when I analyze the stocks, this upside should be more than the 30%. Okay, in this way, I have what Warren Buffett mentioned as margin of safety. Okay, In this case, what I'm searching, and in the next weeks we will find how to put this into filters, how to put, I'm searching for more than 30% of discount, okay, here, of potential upside, let me say. But another thing that we are able to see is that not only on a mathematical method, we see that in this case, Tesla is undervalued. We see that always for the analysts, Tesla is undervalued because the average price for 32 analysts for Tesla stocks is more or less $210 per stock, per share, okay? So this is important because as we can see, the price target of the analyst is more or less the same that comes from the mathematical method. That's an important thing because, for example, I could think, okay, maybe more or less, I could assign to Tesla a value, an intrinsic value around $210, more or less, okay, based on this aspect, okay, because then you can go deeper for every kind of model, okay. You can see here 12 different models, okay, for estimate the fair value. That's the important things to know, okay. What is a fair value, in which section we can find it, and how we can use it as investor, okay. We'll go deeper into the next weeks. As I mentioned here, so let me come back. First of all, you have to choose one stock, okay. For example, if you just know the stock and you want to go deeper, let's imagine Microsoft, okay. And once that you are into the overview part, you will see the price, the current price of the shares, and then on the right part, the fair value. And usually, as I said before, usually what I'm searching for is an upside equal or higher than a 30%, okay. In this case, for example, it's very valued, Microsoft, okay, if we think in this way. But as you can see, it's very quickly. You don't have to calculate the discounted cash flows. You don't have to calculate the intrinsic value. It's already. You only have to understand where to find the data, okay? Another things, as I told you, is that we have the advantage that we have not only one model, okay? Because let's imagine you are evaluating Microsoft only using the discounted cash flow model. Maybe you can have some kind of, let me say, errors into the mathematical model, okay? We are human. The analysts, more than others, okay, are humans. Sometimes, often, let me say, they make a lot of mistakes evaluating company, okay? So that's another reason why it's important to have more than one point of view, because in this way you can compare different models. You can compare different target price. It's very important to understand this, okay? It's not only one result, it's more than 10. In this case, for Microsoft, 14 different models. And you have an average, okay? So in this way, the margin of error should be less than evaluating with only one method, okay? Let me say. And obviously, you will search for companies that that we call undervalued. That means the fair value is more than the actual price of the shares, okay? That's important to understand. On the other part, be aware when, for example, you see here, let me say, 90%, 100%, very big numbers. In this way, it's even important to understand why is so big here's this number. Why so big the discount, okay? We have to understand this, but we will see later. I'm using Investing Pro. You can have the 35% discount off on Investing Pro. You will have here the discount. I hope that you enjoy the webinar, and we will see the next time you will be pro subscribers for the next time.